Coming up on Torrance today, Rock Around the Block returns. We have all the exciting details for tonight's event. Plus, as the new school year approaches, community organizations are collecting supplies for students in need. And Knott's Berry Farm implements a new chaperone policy after a series of fights shut down the park early. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, July 21st. I hope you're wrapping up a great week. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get to our local stories, we have a couple of national headlines we're staying on top of. President Joe Biden tested positive for COVID-19 today. The White House released a statement about the news, sharing Biden is experiencing very mild symptoms. The president, who is 79 years old, is fully vaccinated and twice boosted. White House officials say that Biden is taking Paxlovid, an antiviral treatment for those ill with COVID-19. President Biden has not tested positive for the virus before and recently returned to Washington after a trip to the Middle East this past weekend. Yesterday, he visited Massachusetts to speak on climate issues. President Biden is expected to stay isolated until he tests negative, and the White House will be releasing daily updates on his health status. And on that topic, Dr. Anthony Fauci, chief medical advisor to President Biden, announced that he plans to retire. Fauci said on Monday he would almost certainly step down by the end of Biden's current term, following decades of federal service under 7 different presidential administrations. Dr. Fauci became the director for the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases in 1984 during the height of the HIV/AIDS era and has advised every president since Ronald Reagan. The 81-year-old became a known figure during the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, appearing alongside President Donald Trump for daily COVID-19 briefings and advising on guidelines and standards related to the virus. Fauci's research over many years has focused on treatment and prevention of HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, Ebola, malaria, and related infectious diseases. We have an exciting update from 3290 Temporary Housing Village at Civic Center Drive. As of this week, 37 residents who were experiencing homelessness in our city are now housed at the location, each within their own 64-square-foot living facility. And the additional 3 units are set to be filled in the coming weeks. The program was approved by City Council back in 2021 for a pilot period of 12 months. Its goal is to provide people with a secure space while actively working towards permanent housing options that may include being reunified with family members and/or attaining subsidized housing. The tiny homes give residents access to shared restrooms and showers, an outdoor eating area, and even a pet relief area for those who may need it. Harbor Interface Services is in charge of the service at the site. Workers are in the process of developing housing plans, and we're told 3 clients have already been connected to permanent housing resources. In the coming weeks, a dashboard will be available to the public documenting the monthly progress at 3290 Housing Village as they work towards supporting community goals. The new school year is quickly approaching, and organizations are preparing students for the fall. The Salvation Army of Torrance is hosting a back-to-school drive through the end of the month. They are looking for donations such as backpacks, crayons, folders, lunch boxes, pencils, and spiral notebooks. They will be accepted through July, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Torrance Salvation Army located at 4223 Emerald Street. And beginning next Monday, the city is hosting its own 2022 back-to-school drive for kids experiencing hardships. City workers are collecting new and necessary school items for Torrance Unified School District students who are experiencing homelessness or are in foster care. The drive goes through August 9th. Wish list items are similar to Salvation Army's: backpacks, calculators, folders, lunch bags, notebooks, and pencil boxes. They'll be collected at City Hall and the Permit Center at 3031 Torrance Boulevard and at the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library at 3301 Torrance Boulevard. Organizers hope the drives will give students an opportunity to start the new school year on the right foot. To learn more, visit torranceca.gov/helpothers. Get ready to travel back to the 1950s at tonight's annual Rock Around the Block event in Old Town. It's a celebration of Torrance being awarded the All-America City Award in 1956. It's considered to be one of the country's most prestigious community recognition awards. The event is open to the public and will include fun for the entire family. Rock Around the Block will feature a viewing of vintage cars, 50s music by DJ Ozzy, Firehouse Dogs grilled by our very own Torrance firefighters, and special exhibits from 1956, including a congratulatory telegram from President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Former City Manager Leroy Jackson will be at the museum to talk about historic photos on display, and Alex Hattori, a world-renowned yo-yo champion, will perform his award-winning tricks on stage and give a free demonstration to those who want to learn about fancy yo-yoing. And for those seeking to learn a more practical skill, Torrance firefighters will provide a CPR tutorial. Rock Around the Block begins tonight at 5 p.m. at the Torrance Historical Society Museum located at 1345 Post Avenue. The highly anticipated summer musical, The Addams Family, debuts in just a couple of weeks. As the Torrance Theater Department gets ready for its latest performance, it could also use some help. Applications are now open for a theater technician. That gig pays around $3,000 a month. The city is also looking for a stage manager. Applications are being processed on a continuous basis. While these positions are part of the General Services Department, there are many other jobs available at the city. To learn more, visit torranceca.gov/jobs. Well, 2 years ago, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, who, as you know, has been a big supporter of Torrance, kickstarted a project to restore a portion of land in another part of the South Bay that was unfairly taken from a family more than a century ago. And yesterday, LA County officials formally presented the deed to that portion of land in Manhattan Beach to the family of Willa and Charles Bruce. Back in 1912, the Bruce family purchased the land and ran a popular lodge, cafe, and dance hall, offering space for Black beachgoers. The new neighborhood became known as Bruce's Beach. But the Bruces became a target and were harassed by white neighbors and the Ku Klux Klan. The city of Manhattan Beach seized the land in 1924 through eminent domain and used it to build a park. Supervisor Hahn worked with Supervisor Holly Mitchell and State Senator Stephen Bradford to make this happen and transfer the parcels of land back to the relatives of the Bruce family. Under the new agreement, the county will lease a lifeguard station currently on the property from the Bruce family for $400,000 a year. If the family decides to sell in the future, the agreement allows them to resell it to the county for $20 million. The day signified an important step for the South Bay community to make amends. At the event, Supervisor Hahn said, "Today we are sending a message to every government in this nation confronted with the same challenge. This work is no longer unprecedented." Knott's Berry Farm will implement a new chaperone policy to park goers after a series of fights broke out recently, forcing the park to close early. Park visitors 17 years and younger are now required to be chaperoned by someone who is 21 years or older on Fridays and Saturdays. Knott's had to shut its gates early last Saturday night after police responded to an outbreak of violence among a group of teenagers. Video from the scene shows parkgoers scrambling for safety. 2 people were taken to the hospital to treat their injuries. Knott's issued a statement saying, quote, "Millions of guests have counted on us for their daily dose of wholesome family fun, and we're committed to keeping that promise going forward." The policy will be in effect until further notice. More than 16,000 pounds of chicken and rice soup products are being recalled due to misbranding and undeclared allergen. MSI Express Incorporated pulled 2 of its Thai-style curry chicken and rice soup mixes produced on January 19th and 31st of this year. The products were distributed across the U.S. and Canada through professional food service trades, including fast food chains, restaurants, online stores, and sports arenas. The recall comes as allergen testing found dairy in the soup. It was not noted on the product label. The undeclared allergen prompted the recall by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service. The exact product being recalled is the red Thai curry with best buy dates of April 26, 2023 and January 19, 2024. Fortunately, there have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions from the products. Consumers are urged to throw them away or return them to the place of purchase. A major renovation project began today in Irwindale if you're planning to pass through that area. Today is the first day of a 5-day closure on the 210 freeway. The westbound lanes from Irwindale Avenue to the 605 will be shut down for 126 hours and is expected to cause a mini Carmageddon situation there. The renovation includes crews replacing hinges on the 50-year-old San Gabriel Bridge portion of the freeway. Caltrans officials urge drivers to avoid the area and take the 60 or 10 freeways instead to avoid delays. The Metrolink and Metro Gold line are also available to commuters. The project is scheduled to finish by July 26th at 5 a.m., but there will be a second portion of the project in the coming weeks, scheduled for August 17th through the 23rd. This could affect South Bay drivers planning to go to and from Las Vegas. As we head into the weekend, be sure to catch the latest episodes of Weekends in Torrance. On Friday, get a virtual tour of the 3290 temporary housing village at Civic Center Drive, aimed at helping those experiencing homelessness in our community transition to stable living conditions. Then, kids CEOs ages 5 to 17 showcase their latest creations and earn some cash during their summer break at the South Bay Children's Business Fair at the Ken Miller Recreation Center. And on Sunday, the Torrance Police Department creates an opioid awareness resource guide to help our community tackle the growing epidemic. All this and more beginning at 4 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right here on Torrance City Cable. Well, still ahead, it's Thoughtful Thursday. Get ready to roll up your sleeves to help those who need the life-saving gift of blood. We'll have all the details when we come back in 60 seconds.
A Dog's Way Home is the story of the extraordinary lengths a dog will go to in order to get back to their family. Every year, millions of dogs and cats end up in shelters and rescue groups. We found our Bella at a shelter in Tennessee. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover they're all pure love. Adopt pure love and help a shelter pet find their way home at theshelterpetproject.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to share a positive story that fits the theme for the day. On this Thoughtful Thursday, we are highlighting the importance of blood drives. The U.S. is emerging from the worst blood shortage in a decade, and UCLA Health is teaming up with the City of Torrance and our local YMCA to collect the life-saving donations.
It's important to have community blood drives out in the community to help replenish the blood that the hospital at UCLA is using. They do a lot of transplants and surgeries, so we use a lot of blood, and we need community blood donors to step up.
You're really saving lives when you give blood, and so we want to make sure that we make the space available so that we can meet the need in the community.
UCLA health officials say they're receiving about a third less donations than they'd like and encourage more people to show up at the next donation event. It takes place right here at the Ken Miller Recreation Center on Wednesday, August 17th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. To make an appointment, email Noel at nli@mednet.ucla.edu or scan the QR code on your screen. Here are some sobering facts from the American Red Cross. Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood and/or platelets. Nearly 5,000 units of platelets are needed daily in the U.S. A single car accident victim can require as many as 100 units of blood, and one donation can help save more than one life. Blood donations are crucial for surgeries, treatments, chronic illnesses, and traumatic injuries. So consider donating if you are willing and able, and you can also leave with some delicious snacks and maybe even some gift cards to Starbucks and In-N-Out. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torrancetoday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here on Monday with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great weekend.